Chosen one, pause for a moment. This isn't just another video. You didn't click on this by accident, and I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to deliver a message your spirit has been waiting for. You've been protected from death, not once. For months, the signs have been whispering. You've seen the patterns, felt the strange weight in the air, and noticed how certain doors slammed shut while others opened at the exact second you needed them to. This wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was divine positioning. August 10 isn't just another date on the calendar. It's a turning point written before you were born. Heaven has been holding something back, keeping it hidden until the appointed moment. That moment is now. The delays, the silence, the hidden preparation, it's all been for this. You've walked through fire thinking you were alone, but every step was under watch. Every tear counted. Every setback calculated. The same God who allowed the storm is the one who decided today marks the beginning of your rise. And when heaven marks a date, nothing in hell can cancel it. This is why the enemy fought you so hard. This is why you were kept in isolation. Because the rise coming for you is not small, it's public, undeniable, and unstoppable. The same people who overlooked you will witness what God is about to do. Stay alert, stay ready. Because from this day forward, your steps are ordered, your favor is unlocked, and your rise will not be hidden any longer. Subscribe to Chosen Core. You were never meant to miss this calling. The shift has already begun, even if you can't see it fully yet. Small alignments are happening behind closed doors, decisions being made in rooms you've never stepped into, with your name being spoken in conversations you didn't know existed. These are divine setups, and they're moving faster than you think. People who once ignored you will suddenly feel drawn to connect. Opportunities you thought were gone will reappear in better form. The resistance you felt for years will start to weaken, not because the battle stopped, but because your authority in the spirit has increased. You've been given access to a higher level. And here's what most won't understand. Your rise isn't just about blessing you. It's about positioning you to carry out an assignment that impacts generations. That's why the training was so brutal. That's why the losses cut so deep. You weren't just being prepared to shine, you were being prepared to lead. This rise will carry a weight of responsibility, and if you embrace it, the same God who lifts you will sustain you through it. But understand this, your rise will also expose you. Every hidden motive around you will surface. Friends will reveal themselves as foes. Foes will accidentally become stepping stones. Some will question how you rose so quickly, not realizing this moment has been years in the making. They'll call it sudden favor, but you'll know it was divine timing. You were hidden on purpose, shielded from premature exposure that could have destroyed you before your roots were deep enough to stand. The enemy's biggest mistake was thinking isolation would break you. Instead, it sharpened you. You learned how to hear God without the noise of the crowd. You learned patience when everything inside you wanted to run. You learned to fight battles no one clapped for you to win. And now, that private endurance is about to become public strength. Your rise will not be quiet. It will disrupt systems, shift atmospheres, and awaken things that have been dormant in you for too long. This is why the spiritual pressure increased recently, because something in the unseen already shifted in your favor, and darkness is trying to push back before it's too late. Mark this: August 10 is not the end of your journey, it's the ignition point. From here, momentum will take over. You will see acceleration in areas that have been stagnant for years, and when it starts, it will not stop. Every delay you endured was actually gathering power for this launch. Think of an arrow being pulled back. The further it's drawn, the greater the force when it's released. You have been in that tension, pulled back by challenges, betrayal, and unanswered prayers. But now, God's hand is releasing you, and nothing can stop the trajectory. This rise will carry signs that only you will fully understand. A word spoken at the right time. A door that opens with no explanation. A long-forgotten promise suddenly resurfacing. These will not be random. They will be confirmations that heaven's plan is unfolding exactly as intended. But you must stay vigilant. As your light increases, so will the shadows trying to attach themselves to you. Some people will come close, not to support your mission, but to siphon your momentum. You cannot afford to let just anyone into your space right now. Guard your focus like your life depends on it, because in the spirit it does. And remember this, with greater visibility comes greater warfare. But unlike before, you will not fight from a place of desperation. You will fight from a place of authority. You've been trained for this moment in ways you didn't even recognize while it was happening. The authority you carry now will make certain battles end before they even begin. Enemies who once tormented you will suddenly back away without explanation. Situations that used to drain you will break open with ease. This isn't because the challenges disappeared. It's because you've stepped into a realm where your presence itself carries weight in the unseen. Your discernment will also sharpen. You will begin to sense danger before it arrives, see deception before it's spoken, and feel shifts in the atmosphere before anyone else notices. These are not just spiritual gifts, they are survival tools for the level you're stepping into. And this rise will not only affect you, it will pull others up with you. Your victory will be a signal to those who have been watching in silence, wondering if God still moves like he did in the old days. Through you, they will see that he does. Your testimony will break chains you don't even know exist in other people's lives. But take this seriously. This kind of rise comes with divine assignments that cannot be ignored. If you step out of alignment now, you risk more than just losing opportunities. You risk delaying a move of God meant to change entire regions through your obedience. This is why the weight you've been feeling lately hasn't been just emotional, it's been prophetic. Heaven has been pressing urgency into your spirit, not to burden you, but to prepare you. You're stepping into a season where every decision carries amplified impact. A wrong move can echo for years, but the right move can open doors that remain open for the rest of your life. There will be moments in the coming days where you feel the urge to move quickly, but you must remember, speed without direction is sabotage. Wait for the whisper. Listen for the nudge. Even the smallest instruction from God right now will carry massive consequences in your favor if obeyed. You will also notice old patterns trying to resurface, fear, doubt, and the temptation to shrink back when the spotlight comes. This is the enemy's last attempt to convince you you're not ready. But you are. The training wasn't just to survive, it was to equip you for influence without compromise. In the next phase, you will see God align people, resources, and timing so perfectly that it will leave you speechless. This won't be because you pushed harder. It will be because you finally stepped fully into the flow of his timing, and nothing flows smoother than a river directed by his hand. And when this river starts moving, it will carry you further in weeks than your own strength could have in years. Places you thought were unreachable will suddenly become your next assignment. Voices that once dismissed you will now ask for your insight. The tables will not just turn, they will flip in your favor. But understand, this rise is not built on appearance, status, or worldly strategies. It's built on endurance, purity, and the unshakable faith you forged in the dark. That's why it will last. Many rise quickly and fall just as fast because their foundation is shallow. Yours has been dug deep through tears, prayers, and battles no one saw. This is also why the spiritual realm has been so active around you. Angels have been positioned, assignments have been released, and doors have been commanded to open, not in the future but now. Every step you take from here carries the echo of that heavenly decree. There will be signs on August 10 that confirm this shift. Some will be subtle, like a conversation that leaves you with unshakable peace. Others will be undeniable, a sudden breakthrough, a long-awaited message, or an unexpected opportunity that feels tailor-made for you. Each one will be a seal on the promise that your rise is no longer coming. It has begun. And as it begins, the spiritual atmosphere around you will change so noticeably that even those far from God will sense something different about you. They won't be able to explain it, but they'll feel the weight of your presence, the authority, the peace, the clarity you now carry. This is because you're not just stepping into a higher level of blessing, but a higher level of being. Every move you make from here will carry an anointing that breaks resistance. Conversations will shift rooms. Your words will pierce through confusion. Even your silence will speak louder than the noise around you. You will no longer need to chase influence. It will naturally gather around you because of the mantle on your life. But this also means you'll be called to stand firm in moments where compromise could look tempting. There will be offers that seem golden on the surface but carry chains underneath. That's why discernment will be your strongest weapon in this season. More than talent, more than connections, more than strategy. And here's the truth. Your rise is not just a reward, it's a responsibility. Heaven is trusting you with visibility so that through your life, others will see the reality of God's power. The way you walk, speak, and decide will silently teach others what faith under pressure looks like. Some will watch from a distance, silently hoping you fail, because your rise will confront the parts of them that settled for less. Others will draw near, not because they understand your calling, but because they sense that being connected to you will change their own trajectory. Both will play a role in your journey. You'll begin to notice that the very places where you once faced rejection will now become platforms. The same rooms that closed their doors to you will invite you in, not realizing they are fulfilling prophecy by doing so. This is how God redeems the years you thought were wasted, by turning your greatest wounds into your greatest witnesses. And with each step forward, the pace will quicken. What took months will take days. What took years will take weeks. This acceleration will not feel rushed. It will feel right. It will feel like finally catching up to the timeline heaven had written for you all along. But remember, acceleration without preparation can crush a person. That's why your preparation was so long. Every trial, every delay, every unseen victory. It was all adding strength to your spirit so that when this momentum hit, you wouldn't just rise, you'd remain. Remaining is the true mark of divine elevation. Many can rise for a moment, but only those anchored in God can withstand the winds that follow. The storms won't stop just because you've entered your season. In fact, they may intensify. But the difference now is that your roots run so deep, the shaking will only prove your stability. This stability will give you a calm that confuses the enemy. Attacks that would have broken you before will now barely move you. Disappointments that once crushed your spirit will now be seen as divine redirection. You'll stop questioning why certain doors close and start thanking God for removing what would have derailed your purpose. And as you walk through this season, you'll begin to feel an unshakable confidence, not in yourself alone, but in the one who has carried you here. You'll understand that your rise was never about proving your worth to people. It was about proving God's faithfulness to the world. This confidence will draw others, but it will also provoke opposition. That's when you must remember, you are not here to please the crowd. You are here to fulfill an assignment written in heaven long before anyone had an opinion about you. And because this assignment is bigger than you, the resources to fulfill it will come from places you never expected. People you've never met will be moved to help you. Doors you didn't even knock on will swing open. Favor will find you in unfamiliar territory, proving that your rise is not dependent on familiar systems. It's powered by divine orchestration. There will be moments when the path ahead looks too large for you to handle. That's when you'll realize God didn't choose you because you had all the answers. He chose you because you would rely on Him for every step. This dependence will be your greatest strength, because where your ability ends, His begins. In this season, your words will carry unusual weight. A single conversation could shift someone's destiny. A decision you make could alter the course of entire communities. That's why your alignment with heaven must remain unbroken. You can't afford to move without His voice guiding you. And as you step deeper into this calling, You'll begin to notice that every moment of pain, every season of waiting, every hidden battle, it was all a rehearsal for this stage you're about to stand on. This stage will not be one you built. It will be one heaven prepared while you were in the shadows. It will feel strange at first, standing in places you once only dreamed of, but that strangeness will quickly turn into a deep knowing. I was born for this. You'll start to operate with a clarity you didn't have before. Decisions that once took you weeks will be made in minutes because the confusion that clouded you is gone. The same spirit that guided you through the wilderness will now guide you through influence, and it will be just as vital to listen now as it was back then. Your presence in certain spaces will shift the atmosphere instantly. Meetings will turn in your favor, not because of persuasion, but because of the unseen authority you carry. Environments will feel lighter after you've been there, and people won't fully understand why. They'll just know something changed when you walked in. And here's the mystery. This rise isn't the final chapter. It's the doorway to an even greater unfolding of your purpose, one that will stretch you beyond what you thought possible, yet satisfy you more deeply than you've ever known. But before that greater unfolding can fully manifest, there will be one final proving ground. Not a season of delay, but a season of testing in the midst of your rise. This is where your integrity will be weighed, your patience measured, and your loyalty to God examined under the light of new influence. Some opportunities will come wrapped in flattery, designed to pull you off course without you even realizing it. Others will come in the form of subtle compromises, small enough to seem harmless, but dangerous enough to derail the mission if accepted. In these moments, your discernment will be your shield, and your obedience will be your weapon. You will also notice divine interruptions, plans you thought were solid suddenly changing, only for something better to emerge in their place. This will be God's way of keeping you from settling for good when He's prepared something greater. Every decision in this period will echo loudly into your future. The ones made in alignment with heaven will multiply your influence and expand your territory faster than you can imagine. The ones made outside of that alignment could cause unnecessary detours, detours you no longer have the time to take. This is why your sensitivity to God's voice must become sharper than ever. In the noise of applause, you'll need to discern the whisper of direction. In the flood of opportunities, you'll need to identify the one that carries His signature. There will be moments when the path He shows you seems smaller than the one people expect you to take. Don't be fooled by appearances. God's smallest door can lead to the largest destiny. Many will chase the spotlight, but you will be called to follow the flame of His presence, even if it leads you away from the crowd. You'll also encounter people whose only purpose in this season is to test your boundaries. They'll push to see how far they can go, hopping to find cracks in your character. Stand firm. Let your yes mean yes and your no mean no, even when it costs you relationships or opportunities. In the kingdom, obedience is never loss, it's always seed. And as you pass each of these tests, you'll feel a new level of authority settle over you. Not loud, not boastful, but undeniable. The kind of authority that comes only from walking through fire and emerging refined, not burned. And when that authority settles on you, it will mark the irreversible turning point in your life. From that moment, nothing will ever go back to the way it was. The enemy will know he can't touch you the same way again, and the world will know they can't overlook you anymore. This is your hour to rise without hesitation, to step boldly into every door God opens, and to silence every lie that says you're not ready. You are not walking into this season timidly. You are claiming it like someone who knows it was written for them from the beginning of time. Do not waste a single moment. Protect your focus. Guard your spirit. Move with precision. And when the opportunity comes, because it will, take it without fear, knowing heaven backs every step you take. You are not just entering a new chapter, you are stepping into the prophecy over your life. This is not practice anymore. This is not waiting anymore. This is the rise you were created for. Subscribe to Chosen Core, because the calling on your life is too great to miss a single move of God.